Latest Everton news. Tyler Dibling could struggle to start for Everton again if David Moyes gets the signing he wants. Meanwhile, Everton are engaged in club-to-club negotiations over the signing of a £17 million winger, and a potentially stronger option than John Stones. Everton could have a bid accepted for a £21 million defender. My friend Everton fan, if you enjoyed your content, please subscribe to our channel now, to help us continue to bringing you the latest Everton news. Tyler Dibling's first season at Everton has not gone the way many supporters expected. When the club paid £40 million to bring him in from Southampton last summer, there was genuine excitement around the idea of a fearless young winger becoming one of the faces of Everton's new era. But nearly a full season later, questions are starting to grow about where he actually fits into David Moyes' plans. The biggest issue is opportunity. Dibling has only been trusted with a handful of starts in the Premier League, and despite showing flashes of ability, he still hasn't registered a goal or assist. For a player known for his creativity and direct attacking style, those numbers are difficult to ignore. What makes the situation even more concerning is the competition Everton are now being linked with. Jarrod Bowen is reportedly a serious target this summer, and if Moyes manages to pull that deal off, it changes everything for Dibling. Bowen is one of the most productive wide forwards in the league, consistently delivering goals, assists, and leadership. He also already understands Moyes' demands from their time together at West Ham. Tactically, the comparison matters too. Bowen and Dibling both prefer attacking from the right side and cutting inside onto their stronger left foot. The difference is that Bowen is already proven at the highest level, while Dibling is still learning his game. And Everton's interest in Dario Osorio only adds more pressure. Suddenly, Dibling risks becoming third or fourth choice in his preferred role. This is why the next few months could define his Everton career. A loan move may actually become the best solution, giving him regular football and confidence away from the pressure of immediate expectations at Hill Dickinson's new era. There's still huge talent there, but right now, Dibling feels like a player stuck between potential and opportunity, and Everton's transfer plans could push him even further down the pecking order. My friend Everton fan, with Everton targeting players like Jarrod Bowen and Dario Osorio, do you think Tyler Dibling still has a real future at the club? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Everton finally feel like a club moving forward again under David Moyes. After years spent battling near the bottom of the table, the conversation around the Toffees has changed. Instead of survival, the Evertonians are now talking about Europe, long-term planning, and building a squad capable of competing consistently in the top half of the Premier League. Even if European qualification might come just too soon this season, sitting in 11th place with one game remaining still represents major progress, and it also marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. Seamus Coleman's departure as a player feels symbolic. For years, he represented the spirit of Everton, commitment, fight, and loyalty. Replacing a figure like that is never simple, and Moyes knows this summer will be crucial as the club prepares for life in the new Hill Dickinson era. One major focus is the attack, especially out wide. Jack Grealish's future remains uncertain after an injury-hit loan spell from Manchester City. There's no doubt about his quality, but wages could become a huge obstacle if Everton decide to turn the deal into a permanent one. That is why the links with Dario Osorio are so intriguing. The Chilean winger fits the exact profile Everton now appear to be pursuing: young, explosive, technical, and still developing. Clubs like Arsenal, Bournemouth, and Crystal Palace are all monitoring him, which says a lot about the level of talent he possesses. What makes Osorio such a fascinating option is how naturally he could fit into Moyes' system. Everton have become more aggressive and dynamic in transition this season, especially through Iliman Ndiaye. Osorio offers a similar unpredictability, quick feet, direct running, and the confidence to attack defenders one-on-one. And that's the key point here. Everton are no longer just looking for players who work hard. They're searching for players who can excite fans and change games. If Ndiaye stays and Osorio arrives, Moyes could suddenly have two dangerous wide attackers capable of transforming Everton into a much more feared side next season. So Evertonians, with Everton entering a new era under Moyes and exciting names like Dario Osorio being linked with the club, do you think the Toffees are finally building a squad capable of competing for Europe consistently again? Share your opinion in the comments. David Moyes has made one thing very clear since returning to Everton: stability is no longer enough. The club may have escaped the constant relegation battles that haunted recent seasons, but Moyes is already thinking beyond mid-table football. His comments about refusing to accept Everton being average say everything about the mentality now growing around the club. The progress has been obvious. Everton are finishing the season looking upward instead of nervously looking over their shoulder. And with European qualifications still mathematically possible, there's a genuine feeling that the project is accelerating. But for the next step to happen, this summer transfer window becomes massive. Most fans naturally focus on attacking signings. Questions remain over Jack Grealish, and Everton still need more goals and creativity around players like Thierry Berry. But Moyes also understands that strong teams are built from the back. And that's where Federico Gatti enters the conversation. The Juventus defender may not carry the glamour of a John Stones return, but tactically, he could make far more sense. Stones would bring experience, leadership, and quality on the ball. But his injury history is a serious concern. Everton cannot afford another defender spending large stretches on the treatment table, especially when reliability has become so important under Moyes. Gatti feels like a classic Moyes-type signing: aggressive, hard-working, dominant in the air, and fully committed. Defensively, his journey from the lower divisions in Italy to Juventus also suggests a player with resilience and determination, qualities Everton supporters always admire. What makes this move especially interesting is the balance between ambition and practicality. Everton want higher-level players now, but they also need players capable of handling the intensity of the Premier League every single week. And while flashy attacking names will always grab headlines, signings like Gatti are often the ones that quietly push teams toward European football. So Toffees, with Moyes making it clear that mid-table football is no longer enough, do you think signings like Federico Gatti are exactly what Everton need to push toward Europe? Drop your thoughts in the comments. James Garner's rise at Everton this season has been impressive enough on its own, but when one of the Premier League's biggest stars publicly calls you his toughest opponent, that takes things to another level. Cole Palmer's comments about Garner say a lot about the type of player Everton now have in midfield. Palmer is one of the hardest players in England to contain, quick in tight spaces, intelligent between the lines, and capable of deciding games in a moment. Yet when asked who caused him the most problems this season, he immediately pointed toward Garner. And honestly, Everton fans will not be surprised. Under David Moyes, Garner has developed into the heartbeat of this team. He may not always grab headlines with flashy skills or huge goal numbers, but his discipline, energy, and tactical intelligence have become essential to Everton's progress this season. What stood out in Palmer's story was the detail. He explained how Garner constantly stayed close to him, never giving him time to breathe. That is exactly the mentality Moyes demands from his midfielders: aggressive, focused, and willing to do the difficult side of the game. The biggest compliment here is that Palmer only managed to escape him briefly before scoring. And even then Garner was furious about it afterward. That competitiveness is what separates good midfielders from elite ones. This also explains why Thomas Tuchel has taken such a strong interest in him. Garner's England call-up earlier this year no longer feels like a surprise or a token selection. It feels deserved. Everton were very smart to secure his long-term future before bigger clubs started circling. Because after this season, and after praise like this from Palmer, his reputation is only going to keep growing. For years Everton have searched for players capable of setting standards. Right now, James Garner looks like one of the players leading that new era. My friend Everton fan, after hearing Cole Palmer call James Garner his toughest opponent this season, do you think Garner is now one of the most underrated midfielders in the Premier League, and could he become one of the leaders of Everton's future? Share your opinion in the comments. This is the Toffees News Fan channel, and I'll stop here. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. A big hug and see you in the next video.